I remember when I bought this little guitar that has a rubber bridge, where the bridge deadens the strings and it sounds really old, and it's just a really kind of writes songs for you in a way.
Are you watching Taylor Swift again?
No. I gotta go. Meet Jim Dandy. I picked it up from Guitar Center. Action is way too high. You can kind of see. See my new guitar?
But what are we doing for dinner?
See my new guitar?
Yes, I see it.
It was $180, which is a lot of money, but for guitars, as you know, not much at all. This is a good test case. My first Amazon order consisted of a spool of rubber that cost $8, an $11 pickup, and a $20 set of D'Addario EC-G25 chrome flat wound electric guitar strings. I'm only attempting this project because of a video I found by Cody Kleinsmith. His playing was lovely, and in the description he mentioned Jeff Tweedy, Taylor Swift, Ariel Posen, and he provided a parts list and even a Google Doc. I also found this guy whose overalls made me very jealous. Had it not been for this project, I never would have bought this particular guitar from the store. The action was crazy high. We are way up high. I Googled standard string height for acoustic guitar, somewhere between 2.5 and 3 millimeters. And I was at 3.5. I'm gonna go ahead and be crazy and take a millimeter off. And YouTube says it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I remove 2 millimeters here, it's like removing 1 millimeter down there at the 12th fret. I'm sure other Jim Dandies are set up better, but this particular one, I wasn't having it. Now, this is super cheap, and I'm wondering, should I replace this? The whole point of this, no, I'm not going to replace it. Google, can I sand a plastic saddle? Not sure I'm doing this right. But since everything about this project is new territory, it seemed like as good a time as any to sand down a saddle. There are a number of ways to get this muted, no sustain, old-timey effect. Rubber bands wrapped around the strings. Some remove the bridge completely, use rubber tubing. I asked my son if he had an eraser, because that's something I read at one point, and he brought this, and it's incredible. So just for fun, right up there. What if I move it down here? Let's see. Almost the perfect height. It's too dead. It's definitely a thing. I'm not quite ready for that, so I opted for a piece of rubber cut to fit under the strings next to the saddle. I tried to get cute with the contour, but it works. The last step, I cut slits in the rubber so that the string made good contact with the rubber. When you get into messing with this type of thing, there's so many different ways it can go. And now I'm thinking about, I could mute it a little bit more, a little bit less. I do like the progress. Much more natural sounding. It just sounds old. Now we still have our regular phosphor bronze or bronze strings, and we're going to go to the flat wounds and see what that does. And I think I will also take the time to install the pickup while I have the strings off. Alright, there we go. That's pretty cool. Let's plug this bad boy in. Let's take this. I can't believe it worked. Come listen.
It sounds like a normal guitar.
Okay, just hold that for a second. Now listen to this.
Yeah. Definitely a lot quieter.
So it's just a totally different vibe. But with the pickup, how cool is that? slide it under for the serious effect. I want to use this thing live, so I ordered a $13 wiring harness because I can't handle having the cable taped to the guitar or hanging out the front. We have soldering iron, solder cleaner thingamabob, solder, third and fourth hand. It has a pickup, which I'm not going to use. It might be great, but since this whole thing is under $8, I am going to assume it's not. It is wired up with two 500K pots. We have a volume pot and a tone pot, and the output jack. I am going to cut this and attach it to the pots. Plugging into amp, to electronics. Tone. From what I can tell, there's a hole in the bracing somewhere in this area. Alright, here we have the final result. Volume and tone, and my input jack. I already showed you what it sounds like playing through pedals, so I'll set up a mic and you can hear what it sounds like acoustic. I ended up spending this much on this project. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Is this sound for everybody? Absolutely not. Now, I love it. It fits my style. It's kind of like the soft drums for acoustic guitars, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Link in description. If I had to do it over again, would I get an old Silvertone or an old K? Possibly, but this guitar is new and modern. The neck is in decent shape. Some of those old guitars have bad necks. Gretsch did a great job of making this look cool. The average person is going to think it's old when they see it. The main takeaway that I have always been scared to work on my own guitars. I've done some work on my electric guitars, changed out pickups, but when it comes to my expensive acoustic guitar, I'm not going to touch it. I'm giving that to somebody else who's a professional and they can fix it and set it all up for me. But this project forced me to do it, and for a $180 guitar, if I messed it up, it wouldn't be a huge deal. If somebody gives you an old guitar or you find one for 50 bucks on Craigslist, you might as well go for it. I make sample libraries, that's one of the things I do, and part of that process is getting to know the sound. I know every little detail, every little nuance of every sound that's in my sample libraries. And so when you hear it, I promise that I know what you are hearing. And with guitars, now I know a little bit more about string height and the way that I like to play it and the way I don't like to play it. And I'm not afraid to go mess with this. My next project will be changing out this nut. The string spacing is a little narrow. I've heard some people have had good luck by widening that out because the neck can handle it. A week ago, I would not have even thought to do that. I might not have known that was possible. I'm a big believer that the more we know about how the sounds are made that we use, the better we are going to be at using those sounds in the stories and in the songs that we make. While working on this, I've been thinking, like, why is this sound so popular? Because basically you're taking a guitar that wants to resonate and you're doing everything you can to make it not resonate. But yet, it's still a guitar. We still play it the same way. It's still familiar. There's an intimacy to the sound. You know, it's not big and boisterous. It's really quiet. You got to get kind of close to hear it. It excels finger-picked. You You can certainly strum it, but when you do, it doesn't give you the feedback that you normally get from an acoustic guitar. I think it works because when I pick it up, I want to write music with it. And that's the experience that I'm assuming so many other people, like the Taylor Swifts and the Phoebe Bridgers and the Ariel Posens and the Jeff Tweedies have had. If you found this interesting and you want to watch another video where I take a guitar and do something weird to it, watch this video. Talk soon.